It came to my door, asking for help. Bigfoot encounter. I never believed in Bigfoot. Not really. I'd heard the stories, sure. Everyone around here in Washington had. But to me, it was always just stories people told to make the woods feel a little more mysterious than they already were. That changed one night. It was late October, cold, quiet, the kind of night where the air feels heavier than usual. I live just outside a small town, right on the edge of the woods. No close neighbors, just trees, miles of them. That night, I was sitting in my living room when I heard something outside. At first, I thought it was just the wind. Then I heard it again, a slow, dragging sound, like something heavy being pulled across the ground. I muted the TV and listened. Scrape, pause, scrape. It was coming from the direction of my front porch. My first thought was a wounded animal, maybe a deer, maybe a bear. Either way, I grabbed my flashlight and stepped toward the door. I don't know why I opened it. Looking back, I probably shouldn't have. But something about that sound, it didn't feel aggressive. It felt desperate. When I cracked the door open, the porch light flickered on. And that's when I saw it. At first, my brain refused to process what I was looking at. It was massive, easily over 7 feet tall, covered in dark matted hair. And it was leaning against the railing of my porch like it could barely stand. Its breathing was loud, uneven, almost like it was struggling to stay conscious. I froze. Every instinct in my body told me to slam the door and lock it. But I didn't. Because when it lifted its head and looked at me, there was something in its eyes I didn't expect. Pain, not anger, not aggression, just pain. It let out a low, guttural sound, not a growl, more like a strained attempt to communicate. Then it slowly shifted its weight, and that's when I saw it. Its leg. There was blood, dark and thick, soaked into the fur around its lower thigh. It had been injured badly. For a moment, neither of us moved. Then it did something I'll never forget. It took one slow step forward and lowered itself slightly, almost like it was trying to make itself appear smaller, less threatening, like it knew what it was and what I was, and it didn't want to scare me. I don't know what came over me. Maybe it was shock, maybe it was instinct, but I stepped outside, slowly, carefully. Easy, I said, even though I knew it couldn't understand me, or at least, I thought it couldn't. It watched me the whole time, didn't move, didn't react, just watched. I grabbed an old towel and a basic first aid kit from inside and came back out. My hands were shaking. Every step felt like I was doing something insane. But when I got closer, it didn't back away. It just stood there, letting me. I knelt down slowly and looked at the wound. It looked like something had torn into its leg. Not clean, jagged. Maybe a trap. Maybe another animal. I poured some water over it, and it flinched slightly but didn't pull away. Then I wrapped it as best as I could. The whole time, I could feel it watching me. Not in a threatening way, but aware. Like it understood what I was doing. Like it had come here for this exact reason. When I finished, I slowly stepped back. We just stood there for a moment. Me and this thing that shouldn't exist. Then it did something that still gives me chills. It reached out, slowly, and placed its hand against the porch post beside me, not touching me, but close enough that I could see it clearly. Its hand was enormous, but the way it held it there, it almost felt like a gesture, like acknowledgement or thanks. Then it let out a low sound, different this time, not strained, not in pain, just softer. And then it turned, limped off the porch, and disappeared into the darkness of the trees, just like that. Gone. I stood there for a long time, trying to make sense of what had just happened. The next morning, I went outside to check the ground. There were tracks, huge ones, leading from the woods to my porch and back again, and right where it had stood. There was something else, a single object, a small bundle of sticks, carefully placed, not random, not scattered, arranged, deliberate. I don't know what it meant. Maybe nothing, maybe everything. But I'll tell you this. I don't think it came to my house by accident, and I don't think I was the first person it had ever trusted. And sometimes, late at night, when the woods go quiet, I still feel like something is out there, not watching me, not hunting, just remembering.